Today I was for the evening at Chandra Sarovar. A group of devotees had invited me for a Damodar puja. We were waving lights in the evening, which were reflected in the lake like the stars in the sky. But the most impressive was a meeting with the sadhu. When I left the kirtan, a small size sadhu came to me and said in English, me showing my bhajan kutir. He wanted to show me the place where he does his bhajan, his worship, like chanting and so on. It was dark, but I followed him and he opened a little door to a tiny little room, and on the altar there was a Giriraj, a Shila, and a picture of his spiritual master. Except for that, there was really nothing in that little room, which was just big enough for him to stretch out, but in a curved way. I asked him, "Is this all you have?" And he said, yes. There was a light in his eyes. So I immediately thought, well, I just got a donation. Maybe I should give him at least like 200 rupees to support him so that he can eat. But when I took out the note, he vehemently said, no. And then in his broken English, he said something which touched my heart. He said, when you are niskinchana, that means you don't need anything from this world, and niskama, that is free from desires, then Radharani takes care of all your needs. But the moment you start to busily engage in securing the needs, he said it in a simple way, at that moment you lose that connection to Radharani's care. That was a statement that moved me very much. Then the external forms of living may differ from person to person. Like I can't imagine to live in the winter in this little unheated room overlooking Chandra Sarovar. But that was not the point. The point was when you are free from desires to try to enjoy this world, and you stop making efforts, at that time Radharani takes over. Let us ask ourselves the question why it is that these devotees take shelter at Radharani, and how it is that it works. It's because of Radharani's wonderful qualities, which are so attractive. She is the reservoir of loving affairs in Gokul. That is our next point. Then she is the most famous of submissive devotees. She is very affectionate to the elderly people, and she is very submissive to the love of her friends. These are all some qualities of her, but today we will focus on quality number 24. She is the main gopi, or the principal gopi, who has all of Krishna's affection. Once Krishna spoke about Srimati Radharani in confidence. He addressed her directly, "My dear girl with the fascinating eyes." Even if there are many girls who try to attract me, by throwing glances like arrows from their beautiful eyebrows. How can I find happiness for even a moment without you? And then Krishna gave an example how important Srimati Radharani is. Krishna said, I'm like the sky. Even if the sky is embraced by moonlight and all the stars, it can never become bright until it is filled with the morning sun. So there may be many star-like other gopis, but only when the morning sun of Radha rises, then Krishna is fully and entirely satisfied. That means she has extraordinary qualities, and it is this quality which attracted the sadhu at Chandra Sarovar, who could therefore become desireless and without material possessions. He totally surrendered to the care of Srimati Radharani, who has also this quality that she is very affectionate to her devotees. See you soon again. But before we end, please turn to Radharani and become mindful of this quality. She is the main gopi and Srimati in Krishna's mind.